Hi, everybody. My name is Stephen Mannion from the Black Robed Regiment of Western New York. So I wanted to address something. I went to the Clarence School Board meeting last night, and I was going there about parental rights in relation to vaccines and masks. But the district superintendent brought up something that was really, really important, and it was in relation to critical race theory. So I want you to listen to what he said. I have a recording here, and listen to what he says. Let me get this up here. So I'm going to pull this up. Listen to what he says.
Neighbors or watching the review, you likely have heard the term critical race theory and the topic of critical race theory being taught in classrooms. I just want to share this. Critical race theory is a concept that has been around for 40 plus years. It's a concept that is taught at graduate level college courses. Critical race theory is not a concept that's taught in the Clarence Central School District. It's not a concept that's taught in K-12 education. It's just not an appropriate concept in that environment. What we do in Clarence is that we teach all.
So he is right that it is an inappropriate concept for students. That is absolutely true. He's also right that it's been around for 40 plus, a lot more plus years. It came out of critical theory. Critical race theory is a particular application of it. And all of this came out of the Frankfurt School, which came out of Marxism, because we're talking about not equality, not giving everybody the same thing, but equity, making sure whatever you have to do to make sure everybody ends up at the same level. Do you see the connection to Marxism there? Making sure everybody has the same thing, whether it's opportunities, money, jobs, etc. So he's saying that their school does not teach critical race theory. Let's see. So this man, who, by the way, let me show you who he is. This man, Matt Fram, is either extraordinarily naive or he's lying to you. Now, here's why I say that. Because if I were to tell you, if you say, does your school teach Big Bang Theory and Darwinian evolution? No, we don't teach that. What we teach, and then you go in the curriculum, billions of years ago, two molecules collided and formed and exploded and made the Earth. And all these molecules developed and mutated and slowly became amoebas, which became fish, which eventually crawled out of the water. It's like, dude, that's Darwinian evolution, Big Bang Theory. You can call it Mr. Snuffleupagus' Playtime. It's still the same thing. The title you give it doesn't matter. So he's like, well, we don't teach critical race theory. And this is a common tactic on the left. We don't teach critical race theory, but if you look at what they're teaching, it's everything critical race theory teaches. So let's see if he if they really are teaching critical race theory. So I want to show you the document that he posted on the screen there. And this is it here. It's called the Culturally Responsive Sustaining Education Framework. It literally it took me 15 minutes to look at this and see all the red flags and know this is critical race theory. If you know anything about CRT, you will know that that district superintendent either lied or is naive. Doesn't matter what you call it. So it took 6 seconds. Pull this up yourself, parents. You have to look into this stuff. Your kids are being brainwashed into stuff. You have to look into it and not just trust some some superintendent. It took me 6 seconds scrolling down and reading this. I'm going down to some highlighted parts to see the problems. Students will bring a critical lens to the world as they study historic and contemporary conditions of inequity and learn from historically marginalized voices. Students learn about power and privilege, we're talking about white privilege there, in the context of various communities, and are empowered as agents of positive social change. When we go down lower and we see the educators will grow in their ability to identify and critically examine historic and contemporary power structures, and they will act as agents of social change, this is the educators, to redress historic and contemporary oppression. And they will recognize that personal, cultural, and institutionalized discrimination creates and sustains privileges for some, while creating and sustaining disadvantages for others. And you go down, it talks about compare sexual orientation. Culturally responsive, sustaining education is grounded in a cultural view of learning and human development in which multiple expressions of diversity, race, social class, gender, language, and sexual orientation. Sexual orientation has nothing to do with this stuff. Nationality, religion, and ability. They're going to group sexual orientation and transgender and all this stuff right in with race. I can go on and on. I'm not going to spend the time. You need to scroll through this and see all the many, many red flags that are in this. Now, the most important thing for you to do, like I said, you need to do your research, is go down to some of these things and look at their resources. You need to look up some of these resources because they are the real red flags. For instance, ongoing professional learning for the teachers, how they teach this curriculum. This is how they're educated. It took me a minute to look up this on Google, Diverse and Learning Ready Teachers Initiative. And let me show you what that is. I think this is the one. Oh, here it is. Diverse and Learning Ready Teachers Initiative. And you can go through this and see that it is complete critical race theory, and they're a lot less subtle in these documents than they are in I don't know why it's not screen sharing. Let me try this again. I apologize, I'm not all that great at this. It says screen sharing has been paused for some reason. Anyways, let me go to this, I'm sorry. Anyways, and here's one of the other ones they mentioned. Now, this is the one I just mentioned, the Diverse and Learning Ready Teachers Initiative. The other one is they mentioned on this is the New York, is this one, the Metropolitan Center for Research on Equity and the Transformation of Schools. This is the other one that they mentioned on there. Why are public school curriculum still for whites only? Advanced equity within and across systems. I mean, they have all this. This is the stuff that the teachers are being taught to teach to your kids. Okay, so my main thing in this is, I'm not going to go into all the details of those things. You need to look at it. Parents, it's not my job as a pastor without kids to go and do this research for you. Your kids are being taught this stuff. You need to know what they are teaching your kids and not trust what a superintendent tells you. He, like I said, he's either lying or he's naive. They are teaching the tenets of critical race theory to your kids, and that is being taught all across New York State. You need to go to your school boards, ask them if they are teaching that initiative, and you need to, and I'm going to post the links for those things for you to make it a little bit easier for you to do the research so you know what your kids are being brainwashed on. And you need to go to the school board and say, we demand that this be removed from our curriculum. You have to do it. All right, take care.